Who puts white ink in their gray wash and why?
Hey, Shaka Bras. Welcome to the Fireside Tattoo Network. My name is Jake, and this is our newest segment called 3 Minutes to Better Tattooing, where we try, hopefully in 3 minutes or less, to give you some little nugget that you can plug into your current tattoo process to make you a little bit better today than you were yesterday. So today we're going to talk about the idea of putting white ink in your gray washes. And that's whether you use pre-mixed gray wash or whether you do the drop method and mix your own gray wash. And this was first introduced to me quite a few years ago, and I didn't think I had much use for it. The basic concept is that if you use a couple of drops of white ink in your gray wash, it gives a silkier, milkier kind of consistency and better blends and things like that. So I did try it several years back, but I didn't really know how many drops of white to my gray wash. There was probably maybe 1 drop to the lightest gray and 2 drops to the medium gray, and then 3 or 4 drops to my darkest gray. And I did try it. It didn't stick. And I think the main reason was that I just didn't have any real trouble with my gray wash as it was. So I had a kind of, if it ain't broke, don't fix it mentality. But recently I picked up, whenever I was ordering, I picked up this whitewash series from Empire Inks. And Empire did not sponsor this. I'm not affiliated with them in any ways, but anyway, but I have been using their inks mainly because I like the bottles. The bottles are pretty cool. Like, see, kind of different than a regular bottle. And apparently they're airplane proof, like they won't explode in a plane. So if you fly around a lot like I do, that's pretty handy. But anyways, I noticed that they had a whitewash series where they had already pre-mixed a little bit of white into their inks. And so I thought, well, I'll give that a shot. And so I did. I'll tell you, I did not notice at all a difference in the darker. I think that they have a dark, medium, light, and extra light. At least that's the series that I got. And the dark and medium, I couldn't tell any difference at all. In the cap, you can tell when you're putting in the light and the extra light, it looks a little more opaque. It looks like there's some white ink in it. And whenever I was putting the ink in the skin, I did notice a little bit more of a milky texture on the lighter end. So on the light and the extra light, I could notice it when it was fresh. On the medium and dark, I really couldn't tell any difference in a standard kind of gray wash. But so when it came back, I'm going to pull some footage up here. When it came back healed, this is kind of what it looked like. This is after my first session, and you can kind of tell on the on the darker areas there's not much difference in just a regular black or a dark gray, but in those lighter kind of background areas, I thought maybe it did look a little bit milkier. I thought like, oh yeah, maybe that can kind of tell that that's a different gray wash. So while I was looking at it, my client mentioned that it looked darker for several months. It didn't lighten up for quite a while compared to another sleeve that we had done on his left arm about 4 years ago using standard gray washes. So that gave me the idea to kind of compare the two side by side. And so here's the comparison. The left arm here with the hand is straight gray wash, about 4 years healed, and the right arm is about 3 months healed with the whitewash. And looking at them side by side, I couldn't tell any difference at all in even the lightest wash. I mean, maybe subtle difference, but if you're walking down the street, those look like basically the same value sleeves. You can't tell that one has more opacity in the gray wash, than the other. So then I thought, well, okay, there's really not much difference at all once it's actually settled in and healed. And so I was getting ready to make the video, and it occurred to me, maybe I'm missing the entire point. Maybe the point of these whitewash inks isn't to look different when it's settled and healed, but it's actually for the benefit of the tattooer during the tattoo process. It definitely pushed back some of the redness in the skin immediately especially when you're doing when you're working with really light washes, light and extra light kind of washes. The redness of the skin tends to push through and sometimes makes the gray wash look splotchy. Well, I didn't have a lot of that problem with this whitewash, and I think maybe I could attribute that to the white ink that's in the gray wash. So maybe it's more of a tool for the tattooer to get smoother blends and to see the consistency of the washes when the tattoo is fresh, rather than to have a different healed result. I don't know if that's true or not, but For that reason alone, I think it's worth using. And maybe it's even a little bit reassuring that it looks like standard gray wash when it heals, because it won't stand out too much from maybe existing black and gray tattoos if you're building off of something or working up into something that's existing. So after thinking about it, I'm thinking maybe I missed the entire point. The whitewash doesn't look much different healed, but there's a definite difference on the lighter end when you're putting it in the skin. So if you're someone who struggles to put in smooth, consistent grays, especially light grays, if you end up beating the skin up and things like that, or getting inconsistencies, if you think something's in there solid and then it comes back and it looks really splotchy and kind of beat, maybe this will help you. It might be worth giving it a shot. I think you can buy them individually. I just bought the entire kind of set of these guys, dark through extra light. But I think you can buy them individually. If you already have, dark gray washes and medium gray washes that you use, you could probably just grab the light and the extra light and try those out first. Save yourself a little bit of money. Like I said, Empire didn't sponsor this video or anything like that. It's just something that I decided to try out and share with you guys. I don't know if that was less than 3 minutes or not, but I want to thank you for supporting what we do, and we'll catch you next time. Thanks.
Hey, thanks again for watching. Please be sure to like and comment and subscribe to our channel so you can stay up to date with all of the things that we are doing. If you would like to buy us a drink, please support us on Patreon. There's a button somewhere around here that allows you to do that. You can also visit our website and subscribe to our newsletter so you know where we're headed and what we're doing. And while you're there, please check out our merchandise page. Buy yourself a fancy new Fireside t-shirt. Thank you for supporting the Fireside Tattoo Network, and we'll see you on the next episode.